2018 was a whirlwind for me and Chad as entrepreneurs. Between having a baby, growing our Makers Clean business, expanding our channel, selling our home, and moving to our dream house, it was a pretty full year. Now that we're into 2019, I want to start covering something that I've hardly discussed on this channel before, but that especially over the last year has become more important to me, and that's my journey as an entrepreneur. I've always been an entrepreneur at heart, even from a young age when I set up my room as a makeshift store and sold items to my stuffed animals, cashing them out with a calculator taped to my wall, and selling candy canes at Christmas time in my school cafeteria. I was always looking for business ideas, even at a very young age. But despite my entrepreneurial aspirations, when I finished my university business degree at 23, I went corporate and took the first job that I was offered, which was in commercial lending. I totally hated it, and I didn't learn much about banking at that job, but I did learn a lot about myself. Among other things, it reaffirmed my position that I never wanted to work for someone else. So, after just a year, I quit and decided to go back to waiting tables while I worked out how to become my own boss. I started looking for a business idea with low startup costs that I could do as a side hustle while I supported myself with my waitressing earnings. While I wasn't sure what to do, I listened closely to what people around me needed and what they were saying. And you know what I kept hearing from my friends and family? That they were too busy to clean their own homes, and that their cleaners just always seemed to break something, not show up, or worse. I realized that there was a huge need for reliable house cleaners in Toronto. That's when I knew my first business had to be a cleaning company. There was this minor problem though. I knew nothing about cleaning, like nothing. Actually, I was pretty bad at it, and frankly, I didn't want to do any of the cleaning myself. When I presented my business concept to my uncle, who's been a mentor to me throughout this business career of mine, he said, "Melissa, it sounds like a great idea, but who's gonna do the cleaning?" I told him I'd hire someone to do it. He said to me, "No, either you're going to do the cleaning yourself or you're gonna get your resume ready, because if you're going to start a business, you'd better learn it from the ground up." And he was right. I've never started a business before, and there were essentially no resources available for starting a cleaning company, meaning that I had to learn the business from the ground up. So I rolled up my sleeves, slipped on my bright pink cleaning Crocs, and I went for it. Let me be honest, at the beginning, it was hard. I had to learn everything from scratch, from how to make a bathtub sparkle, to what you do when you knock over a client's irreplaceable tchotchke, to calculating tax down to the last penny, and finding employees who aren't going to bankrupt your business. But despite all of my challenges, my business grew. And I'll never forget how satisfying it was to finally sign my own paycheck and quit my waitressing job. Knowing that I've built a business that brings in money not just for my family, but for my staff, and that it makes our clients' lives better by giving them tidy homes, has been extremely fulfilling day after day, month after month, year after year. Since then, fueled by the success of my cleaning business, I started the YouTube channel you're watching right now. And through this amazing community, I've gotten tens of thousands of thank you messages and emails from people all over the world. And then a few years later, started another company, Makers Clean, selling our premium microfiber cloths that are super popular. And in 2017, I topped it off with writing my first book with a major publisher. But it was over the last year that I've slowly started to feel a pull in a new direction. See, my journey has been incredibly rewarding, and I've learned so much over these past 13 years. So I started to think about everything I had to learn from the ground up, earning every insight with literal sweat and tears, and how great it would have been if someone had shown me the way. I would have been able to grow faster, be more profitable, and avoid so much of the stress that I felt working all of this out on my own. I've been asked hundreds of times over the years if I could help people start a cleaning business. And I've wanted to help because I have so much to share, but I just didn't know how to do it effectively. I knew more than anything that I wanted to empower the next wave of entrepreneurs and make it easy for them by sharing my hard-earned lessons. I wanted others to experience the same satisfaction of being their own boss and running their own business. That's why, despite being in the midst of having Riley and a big move, I thought it through and I wanted to set out something really special. A step-by-step guide, a blueprint that anyone can use to build success the same way I have with my business. Initially, it was just an idea, and I began by watching nearly every other resource out there on starting a cleaning company. I went through each of them in detail, and I thought about what I wished I'd known when I started and what was missing for the resources that are currently out there. I also began to dissect my own journey and think about what decisions have brought me success over the past 13 years. Then I broke everything down to create a structure that makes it easy for anyone to start a business, even if they've never considered it before or have never thought about themselves as an entrepreneur. Through this process, I went on to rethink everything, and I actually restructured key parts of my own business. I spent month after month refining this step-by-step pathway, thinking and working on it. The result is a blueprint that will take you from knowing nothing about entrepreneurship to getting your own cleaning business up and running, all in a matter of weeks, even if you have no background in business and don't have a lot of money. Of course, every entrepreneur will still face struggles, but now no one has to face the same teething problems I did when I started out, because I've mapped out how to start your own cleaning business in a way that's so simple. Anyone can do it if they want to. If you go through it, you'll have the fulfillment that comes from building something yourself. You'll be calling the shots, providing for your family, and having an impact on the people around you and in your community. One thing I learned as an entrepreneur is self-reliance. At the end of the day, in challenging times, I know who I am. I can look in the mirror and say, I can do this, and I can make the decisions to get things done. And I know that you can be that decision maker too. And with my upcoming course, the path will be laid out for you.